Hello, my name is Cynthia Ellison, and this is my final presentation for Call 100 Spring 18. For my presentation, I chose managing diversity in the workplace to correlate with my field of study in business management and human resources. This topic is important to me because I am a firm believer that everyone has something to offer regardless of their diverse nature, and that management and companies need to continue to have diversity in their workplace. There are many aspects of diversity that one needs to consider in order to manage a diverse workplace. By explaining the history and what diversity is, to explaining the positive and negative effects and the training that's involved, you will hopefully have a better understanding as to why managing diversity is important to companies. So what is diversity in the workplace? You might think it's based mostly on race and ethnicity. There are more characteristics for diversity than just those two. Some of the other attributes to diversity are gender, age, religion, disability, and sexual orientation, just to name a few. Have you ever wondered where the idea of workplace diversity came from? Well, according to Valerie Smith's article, Why Diversity Matters, it all started back in 1964. The Civil Rights Act made it illegal for organizations to engage in employment practices that discriminated against employees on the basis of race, color, religion, gender, age, and disabilities. Valerie Smith then goes on to say that in 1965, an Executive Order 11246 was passed, which required all government contractors to take affirmative actions to overcome past patterns of exclusion and discrimination. With these mandates in place, formal policies that discriminated against certain classes were eliminated by increasing cost to organizations that did not implement fair employment practices. Since then, these laws have remained a legal responsibility in which organizations abide by today. Even though there were more organizations becoming diverse in the workplace, there were still some that were slow to change. Many of the companies now incorporate training programs in order to aid in valuing diversity in management. Brookins' quote states that diversity is beneficial to the workplace. As workplaces embrace the idea of diversity, they often realize benefits that help improve their companies, from new ideas to increased international opportunities. There is a belief that diversity is a business necessity because a more diverse workforce produces better business results. Many companies started noticing that having a more diverse workforce was a window into having diversity in the marketplace as well. However, not all diversity is good for companies, but it's not all bad either. Let's first discuss the bad. The downside to diversity was that it was found to be way more complex than it was originally thought to be. So researchers conducted studies to make sure that diversity was beneficial to the workplace. In some of these studies, evidence suggested that diversity was a contributing factor to high turnover rates. As stated by Robinson and DeCant, the turnover rate for blacks in the U.S. workforce is 40% higher than the rate for whites, and the turnover rate for women is twice as high for men. Another contributing factor is miscommunication. Miscommunication becomes a problem with language barriers, which can lead to lower quality of performance since they don't understand what is being asked of them. This in turn can create conflicts with other employees and management. So even though there are negative effects for diversity, there are still many benefits received from having it. Some of the benefits were that diversity created greater innovation and creativity the more diverse the group, a greater range of perspectives, and generated higher quality solutions. Diversity was also associated with the increase in sales revenue, greater market shares, brought in more customers, and created greater profits for the company. Sandel states that research shows that a diverse workforce is a good business strategy, one that can impact and strengthen the bottom line. Diversity training is a strategy that many managers are now utilizing to create more diverse groups. With managers realizing that diversity-related practices were more important than they did prior to training, they became more positively engaged in those practices. Three key factors of training for management include increasing awareness about diversity issues, reducing biases and stereotypes that deter from effective management, and changing behaviors to help effectively manage a diverse workforce. With diversity training by management, employees have greater understanding of the value of diversity. They have better diversity management skills and have more effective diversity-related behaviors. Once the management is trained for diversity, they are put to the test of how to maintain it in the company. Managers are now having to develop hiring strategies to increase workforce diversity. When you think about it, some of the questions managers may ask themselves are, does your workforce resemble the communities that you operate in? Do they match the demographic that you serve or want to serve? How can one find a diverse population to recruit from? Or what can we do to appease to a diverse group? According to the Wall Street Journal, managers are starting to take action on finding ways to bring diversity into their companies. Some of the actions they are taking are speaking with organizations that have community connections, such as the local church, cultural institutions, and colleges. They are asking current employees if they know of anyone that would be interested in a job or career with the company. They are making the job or career more compelling in order to attract a more diverse candidate pool. For example, someone who is bilingual. They are also offering benefits to employees such as daycare, childcare subsidies, and flex scheduling to create an even work-life balance. So in lieu of everything I have discussed in this presentation, it is clear to see that managing workforce diversity has many aspects that need to be considered when making a company more diverse. With explaining what diversity is, how diversity came to be, the positive and negative effects of diversity, management training, and maintenance of diversity, I hope I have demonstrated to you why managing diversity is an important strategy to have for companies to succeed. Thank you.